Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling something that, well, it affects every single purchase you make. Pricing strategies.
It really does.
We've got some interesting material here. A chapter looking at the more advanced ideas and also some insights into how big retailers actually put these into practice.
Yeah, day-to-day stuff.
So our mission, really, is to unpack the core strategies behind the prices we see and, the factors companies juggle when setting those tags.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because whether it's a brand new gadget or just keeping an existing product competitive, getting the price right is, well, it's crucial.
It's the direct line to profit, isn't it?
It is, but it also has to click with what customers, you are willing to pay. And you always have to watch the competition.
Okay, let's jump right in then. How do companies even start pricing a totally new product? The sources mention a couple of pretty different ways to go initially.
That's right. A new product means a clean slate. But that first price decision is massive. One big one is market skimming pricing.
The charge a premium early on approach. We see this with tech all the time, don't we?
Absolutely.
Like a new iPhone or a game console comes out, and there's that group who will pay top dollar just to get it first.
Precisely. The idea is you grab the biggest profit margin you can from those early adopters. The ones who really want it and aren't too bothered by a high price.
Makes sense.
And the chapter points out this works best if there are enough of those buyers, if the product feels really valuable or unique, and crucially, if competitors can't just jump in quickly with something similar and cheaper. Tech is the classic example.
Right. Get those high margins from the eager ones first. But then there's the total opposite strategy,
Right.
going for like mass appeal straight away.
Exactly. That's market penetration pricing. The goal here is rapid adoption, grabbing a big slice of the market fast by setting a low initial price.
Okay.
The sources suggest this works well when the market's really price sensitive, so a lower price pulls in way more people. It also helps if your costs go down as you make more, so you can still make money at that lower price point. And that low price itself can scare off competitors. They might think, not worth getting into that fight.
So it's all about volume there. Just get it into as many hands as possible quick.
That's the idea.
Now, things get trickier, I imagine, when a company isn't just selling one thing, but a whole bunch of related products.
Oh, definitely. When you've got a product mix, how you price one thing affects all the others. The sources talk about several product mix pricing strategies. First up is product line pricing.
Okay, product line.
Uh-huh.
So this is about setting different price levels for different versions within the same family, like, basic, standard, premium versions of something.
You got it. Like different car models from the same brand or software packages, home, student, professional, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The price gaps should ideally reflect cost differences, sure, but also how much customers value the extra features in the higher end versions, and of course, what competitors charge for similar tiers.
Right. You pay more for the leather seats or the extra software features.
Oh, okay.
What about when you buy the main thing and then they offer you a load of extras?
That's optional product pricing, offering accessories or optional features along with the main product.
Like upgrading the sound system in a new car or adding extra software when you buy a computer.
Exactly. The base product has one price, but you can customize it by adding these options, each costing extra. It lets people tailor the purchase.
Got it. Now this next one, captive product pricing. Sounds like it could potentially, rub people the wrong way sometimes.
It certainly can. This is where you price products that must be used with the main product, the captive ones. Sometimes the main product is cheap and the captives are expensive, or maybe vice versa. The classic example, as you mentioned, is video game consoles.
Right, the console might be affordable, but the games aren't cheap.
Exactly. Or printers and ink cartridges. The printer itself might be a bargain, but the replacement ink costs a lot over time.
The old razor and blade strategy. Get you hooked with the main purchase, then make money on the things you have to keep buying.
That's it. And the source does warn, you risk really annoying customers if those captive products seem too overpriced. People don't like feeling trapped after they've bought in.
No, definitely not. Okay, what about byproduct pricing? That sounds different.
It is. This is where companies find a market for the secondary stuff that comes out of their main production process, often things that might just be waste otherwise.
Interesting, like a meat processor selling hides or bones for other uses.
Precisely. Or maybe sawdust from a lumber mill being sold for particle board. Selling these byproducts helps offset the main production costs, which can make the main product's price more competitive.
Clever. Okay, and the last one in this group is product Bundled pricing. We see this all the time, right?
All the time. It's just combining several products and offering the whole bundle for less than buying each item separately.
The fast food combo meal is the perfect example. Burger, fries, drink cheaper together.
Exactly. Or software suites, getting Word, Excel, PowerPoint together for less than buying them individually. It encourages buying more, maybe even trying something you wouldn't have bought on its own.
Yeah, it definitely pushes you towards buying the whole package.
So once a company sorts out these basic prices, the job's not done. Prices often need tweaking.
Right. Things change. Customers change, markets change. So this brings us to price adjustment strategies.
Yes, and there are quite a few ways companies do this. They fine-tune prices for different customer groups or changing situations, specific purchases. One big category is discount and allowance pricing.
Okay, so that's your sales, your bulk discounts, paying early,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
exactly. Price reductions to reward customers for certain actions.
And allowances, like trading in your old phone for a discount on a new one.
Precisely. Trading in an old item or maybe promotional allowances for retailers who feature your product. Then there's segmented pricing.
This is selling the same thing at different prices, but not because it costs differently to provide it.
That's the key. It's not based on cost differences. Think student or senior discounts at the cinema.
Or business class versus economy on the same flight.
Exactly. Or even location, maybe higher prices in a fancy downtown store versus a suburban one. Different segments value things differently or have different abilities to pay.
That makes sense. Capture more value from different groups. Now, psychological pricing, this sounds fascinating, how our brains react to price tags.
It really is. It taps into the psychology of prices, not just pure economics. Reference prices are key here, that price you sort of expect to pay for something that you hold in your mind.
Okay.
And then there's the classic odd-even pricing. $9.99 instead of $10.
Oh, yeah, the .99 effect. It just feels significantly cheaper, even though it's only a cent.
It does. It suggests a bargain or that the price was carefully calculated. And overall, the perceived value is huge. How much is this worth to me? That heavily influences how we see the price.
Right. Sometimes a higher price can even make you think something is higher quality, can it?
It definitely can. Then you have promotional pricing.
Flash sales, limited time offers, Black Friday, that sort of thing.
Exactly. Temporarily pricing things below the normal list price, maybe even below cost sometimes, just to create buzz and urgency. Get people buying now.
Yeah, creates excitement.
It can boost sales short-term, absolutely. But the sources warn you have to be careful. Do it too often, and you might just train customers to wait for sales, or even cheapen your brand image.
Good point. Don't want to seem perpetually on sale.
Mm.
Okay, geographical pricing. This seems obvious price based on location, but it looks like there are different ways to actually handle the shipping costs involved.
There are quite a few, actually. One is FOB origin pricing. FOB means free on board. So the buyer owns the goods once they leave the factory and pays all the shipping from there.
Okay, buyer pays freight.
Then there's uniform delivered pricing. Simple, same price plus the same freight charge for everyone no matter where they are.
Easy to understand, I guess.
Then zone pricing. The seller divides the country or market into zones, and everyone within a zone pays the same total price. Further zones might pay more.
Right, makes sense. A bit more tailored. What about basing point pricing? That sounds a bit odd.
It's less common now, maybe. The seller picks a city as a basing point and charges every customer freight as if the shipment came from that city, even if it actually shipped from somewhere else.
Huh. Oh, yeah. And the last one.
Freight absorption pricing. Here, the seller eats some or all of the actual freight costs. They do this to compete in distant markets or just to snag a particular sale they really want.
Interesting how logistics plays such a big role. Now, dynamic and personalized pricing, this feels very current. It's especially online.
Oh, absolutely. This is where prices change constantly, sometimes minute by minute, based on market demand, competitor prices, inventory levels.
And even based on the individual customer, right? Like what Amazon does.
Exactly. Based on your past purchases, your browsing, maybe even your location or the device you're using, they adjust prices frequently using algorithms.
What?
It offers huge potential to tailor offers and build relationships, but there's a big risk too. Customers can feel alienated or ripped off if they find out they paid more than someone else for the exact same thing just moments apart. Transparency is really key here.
Yeah, that could backfire badly if people feel targeted unfairly. And of course, selling internationally adds a whole other layer of complexity to pricing.
A massive layer. You've got different economic conditions, different levels of competition, local laws and taxes, shipping costs, Currency exchange rates, it's a minefield.
You really can't just take your domestic price and convert the currency.
Absolutely not. What works in one country might totally fail in another. You need a localized strategy.
Okay, so that's setting and adjusting prices. What about actually changing them? Like deciding to cut prices or raise them? That feels like a big deal.
It is a big deal. Companies have to think hard about when and how to do it, and crucially, how competitors might react.
So why might a company cut prices? Slow sales is the obvious one, I suppose.
That's a big driver, yeah, declining market share. But also, maybe they have too much inventory or excess factory capacity they need to use.
Right. Shift some units.
Or sometimes it's an aggressive move. They might cut prices deliberately to gain share or to try and become the market's price leader.
Okay. And raising prices. Apart from just wanting more profit, what are the typical reasons?
Often it's unavoidable. Rising costs, materials, labor, energy, you name it. That's cost inflation.
We've certainly seen a bit of that lately.
Indeed. Or sometimes demand is just so high they literally can't keep up, so a price increase can help manage that demand. But the sources stress, you have to communicate price increases well, explain why it's happening.
Yeah, people are more likely to accept it if they understand the reason, rather than just feeling gouged. How do customers actually react, though? Is it always just lower price good, higher price bad?
Not always, interestingly. A price cut might make some people think, maybe the quality's gone down, or are they in trouble?
Oh, right. I hadn't thought of that negative spin.
And sometimes a price increase can actually enhance the perceived value or exclusivity for certain products. It really depends on the context, the brand, the product.
So it's about the message the price sends, not just the number.
Yeah.
And competitors. They won't just ignore a price change, surely.
Unlikely, especially from a major player. You have to anticipate their reaction. Will they match your price cut instantly?
Or maybe hold their price but boost their advertising.
Exactly. Or maybe they'll improve their product quality or service instead of lowering the price. The sources even show a kind of flowchart for thinking through these competitive responses. It's very strategic.
It really is like a game of chess, isn't it? Making a move and trying to predict the counter moves. The sources also briefly mention pricing within distribution channels, like between manufacturers and retailers.
Yeah, that adds another dimension. Pricing decisions need to work for everyone in the chain. There can be friction over margins and pricing control. Plus, there are legal rules, like the Competition Act here, that prevent things like illegal price fixing between channel members or deceptive pricing directed at them.
All right, got to keep things fair and legal within the supply chain, too. Which neatly brings us to the last bit. Public policy and pricing. There are laws protecting us consumers, right?
Absolutely. Governments step in to prevent unfair or deceptive practices. The sources highlight rules against things like fake original prices used to make discounts look bigger than they are,
Phony list prices, yeah.
or advertising a sale price that wasn't actually available in reasonable quantities. And there are also laws about price discrimination, charging different customers different prices for the same goods if it harms competition, although there are lots of exceptions and complexities there.
So efforts are made to keep the pricing game somewhat fair and transparent for us. Phew. Well, this has certainly been a deep dive. Pricing is, wow, it's way more complicated than just picking a number.
It absolutely is. We've seen it involves understanding your costs, deeply understanding your customers, their needs, how much they'll pay, keeping a super close eye on competitors, and navigating the whole market environment. There's really no single right way to price. It's about careful thought, strategy, and constantly adapting to what's happening out there.
So thinking about all these different approaches we've talked through, skimming, penetration, bundling, dynamic pricing, all those adjustments and all the factors swirling around, what do you think is the absolute toughest part of setting prices effectively in today's world? It really makes you look at the prices you see every day a bit differently, doesn't it?